And I'm the founder of B.Khrease Academic Consult. And today we also have some of our team members. I think I can see Mr. Benson in the group. Mr. Benson Okorie, can you please unmute yourself if you can and introduce yourself? Mr. Benson. Okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Benson, as you have said. I'm one of the team members of B.Khrease Academic Consult. So it's great. It's nice time having you guys around our team, and I hope you are going to enjoy the program for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So once again, you're all welcome. There are several other team members that might not be able to join today, but I believe while the meeting is going, they will be able to join the meeting. So before we go into the program today, which is what brought us together this time, I'm just going to give us a brief introduction of this academic consult. So B.Khrease Academic Consult started as an organization in the year 2018, established to work with undergraduates basically to help them connect them to academic experts, mentors, and technicians in different fields to conduct research that has to do with wet and dry lab procedure assistance. And at the same time, we are also in place to help students or advise students in getting an internship position or give student advice on what they can do during their internship year. At the same time, also still recommend uh, organizations that is appropriate for student internship to be carried out, depending on the field of on their projects, do research writing, do academic writing, report writing. We even do data analysis and all kinds of analysis that is relevant for undergraduates, basically. So strategically, we are in place to help undergraduates with navigating the intricacy of what is needed for them to come out with a good grade. So we also help undergraduates basically to get opportunity in terms of scholarship opportunities, while even they are still undergraduates, not until they graduate. So they start exploring these opportunities. And it's a testament that we have a good number of students that has won scholarship through B.Khrease Academic Consultation through our mentorship programs. Unfortunately, many of our past mentees have one-on-one, many of them have one-on-one contact with me. So that is how passionate we are about helping students, not just me alone. They have contact with every other expert under B.Khrease Academic Consult. So we have been able to come this far to help students achieve this. So we believe our goal is to keep expanding this opportunity to other students in Nigeria and beyond Nigeria and Africa at large. And today we are coming up with this program, or we have started this program for a long time. That is the program we are having today. So I'm going to be sharing my screen on that so we can all see it. We started this program for a while now in terms of undergraduate thesis. And I think this year program is a little bit quite different. And the reason why it's quite different is because over the years, we have discovered that many undergraduate students had to go through writing or conducting undergraduate thesis that is not publishable. Many times, these research are conducted, but at the end of the day are kept in the department or kept somewhere without it having real-world translational impact. And because many students or many people now, their eyes have been opening to opportunities that transcend their undergraduates, meaning After they graduate, many people are seeking for opportunity outside Nigeria. And not all students have the opportunity to work or train in an organization during their IT or their project where they can get quality research skills for them to be able to put together for opportunities for graduate school. So we believe with this avenue, we can start putting it in the mind of students that they have to start working on something publishable from their undergraduates, which is going to help them or place them in position for opportunities in terms of scholarship. And one of the ways or one of the things that is required for scholarship is the ability to have a publication. Although it doesn't mean that publication is what is needed or what's the main requirement for scholarship. But if a student or if a person has that, it's going to also make the profile look a little bit more beautiful. And which way do we think we can do this for undergraduate, basically? So we think the thesis is one of the avenue where we can help students know how to structure what they are doing, have idea of what they are doing, and maybe at the end of the day, after the project is being conducted, they can convert this into a publishable manuscript. So this is what brought us to uh, this topic today, which is framework on writing and formatting a publishable thesis, undergraduate focus. And like I said, our main aim, our main focus for this program today is basically for undergraduates, and we have been doing this for undergraduates for a long time now. So I believe this is not a mistake for us to also conduct this today again. And we believe that whatever is going to be learned here today is going to be valuable to whoever is going to be joining us, basically for most undergraduates. So right now, I'm going to be welcoming our tutor for today. I'm going to be welcoming our tutor for today, so that we can have idea of who our tutor is, so we don't just look like who is this person. Yeah, I'm going to read his profile now. I'm going to read his profile now. Okay. So today we are going to be welcoming Mr. Yipe RICHMORE. Mr. Yipe RICHMORE is a graduate of FUTA with a degree in biotechnology, specializing in plant molecular biology research. He is dedicated to addressing food security issues in Africa, and as an ASTRO leader and teacher committed to volunteering, he has worked on various projects in both health and agricultural sectors, showcasing his interest in science-based sustainable development. At the same time, Mr. Yipe RICHMORE is a multiple award-winning scholar that has worked with B.Khrease academic consult for a while now and is also one of our mentees while we started this program. So I'm happy to welcome Mr. RICHMORE on board to take the class for today on framework on writing and formatting a publishable thesis, undergraduate focus. Thank you for joining us. Mr. RICHMORE, you can have the floor.
Okay. Good afternoon from this part of the world. Yes, it's an honor to be here today. I'm grateful for the opportunity, Mr. Christopher. Yes, my name is Yipe RICHMORE, as he said, and I am a product of B.Khrease academic consult. Yes, yeah, I was once in a meeting like this with Mr. Christopher, and I can say that I learned how to write a project from him. Yes, he taught me everything. Yeah, I know. So everything I'm going to be saying is it's just directly from him. Yes. Yeah. So not to waste our time, let's get into the work of the day. So I'll be sharing my screen now.
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Okay. So, yeah, I can see my screen, have we?
Yes,
Can you also see
yes.
my screen? Okay, all right.
Yes, I
So,
can. I don't.
okay. So we'll try and make this training very interactive. So it's going to be question and answer type. So for today, the topic is framework of writing and formatting a publishable thesis, undergraduate focus. Yeah, just like our host said, most undergraduates find it hard to transform their projects or their thesis to publications, and there are many reasons for that. Yeah, some is because they are naive. Yeah, some is because they are ignorant. So we are here to clear that ignorance today. So for the framework of writing and formatting a published thesis, undergraduate focus. So why this topic? So our hosts have said a lot. Yeah, your undergraduate thesis is more than just your university requirements. I want us to see your undergraduate thesis like a platform. I want to see it like a platform to take you into your next career path academically. So it's your first step into the world of professional research, because most, or if not all, our first research, like real research, is through our undergraduate work, where we have to collect data, interpret, analyze, write, and present. Our first real research is through our undergraduate thesis. So it's our first step into the world of professional research. And transforming your thesis into a published work makes you credible and gives you visibility. Just like what our host said, most times when transitioning into graduate school, you might be required. It's not necessarily a requirement, but it's a necessity to have a publishable work. It gives you visibility, gives you credibility. It attests to your research experience. So, and it opens the doors for career advancement and future academic pursuits. In short, your undergraduate thesis can give you an insight into what you want to further in, or it can help shape your research interests or build a niche for you to venture in later. So this is very, very important. And funny enough, most people take undergraduate thesis with levity. Let me just do this thing. I just want to graduate. Um, After this, no more. Then you notice that I should have taken this seriously and all, because for most applications and all, if you take your project seriously, you can be able to speak on it, and even build on it, like further and the rest. So that's why this topic matters. Now, the first thing to consider when venturing into your undergraduate thesis is a topic or a title. You can't start a project or a topic or a publication without a title or topic in mind. Yeah, so choosing a research topic. Now, for you to transition in from undergraduate thesis to publication, you must first do your undergraduate thesis. Do you understand? So, choosing a research topic. Choosing a research topic. So, what type of topic are you going to choose? First of all, I think the first step is to identify your interest. Now, this might not be true in the sense that most of us, the topic are given to us by our supervisors, right? Yeah. So, but notwithstanding, you need to first identify your interest. Like if you're in final year or penultimate year, you should by now know what you are interested in your particular field or study or whatever you are studying. You must know what interests you. Let me not say you must not specifically know, but you must have like, okay, I like this area of um, biotechnology. I'm not really interested in it. At least you must have a niche. You must have an aspect where you find interesting or which you find interesting. So you must identify your interests. Like I said, you begin with a broad area that genuinely fascinates you. So you must ensure sustained motivation throughout the research process. Because to be sincere, if there is lack of motivation, it might affect your research in the long run. Yeah, so you must identify your interests. And how do you identify that? Like I said, you choose an aspect you find interesting and you research online to narrow or streamline that interest down to a particular field or topic. Number two, you collaborate and brainstorm. Like I said, you engage with mentors like Mr. Christopher, Mr. Benson. They're here in this meeting. You meet them, you collaborate, they'll help you refine your ideas into a potential research topic. It might even be your lecturer, it might be your colleagues. You brainstorm to refine that topic. Then, like I said, you narrow your focus, you streamline it. You can't say, okay, I'm studying biochemistry and my interest is food biochemistry, and that's my project topic. No. You have to narrow, you have to streamline that topic, streamline that field. And how do you streamline it? Now, from experience, my supervisor then will say, choose a problem around you, a local problem. Yeah, so that the research can be relevant and impactful. So you have to target current issues or local problems, and so that you make your research relevant and impactful. And finally, you have to ensure feasibility. Now, we know the resources that is available to us in our various schools. So you should make sure your research topic is achievable, the objectives around it is achievable. Do you understand? So you don't get stuck. Yeah, and you know there is limited time for it, so you must consider that also. You must make sure your research or your topic you have chosen is achievable within your limited time frame, and also it is you can do it with the available resources. Do you understand? And make sure your topic is clear. Yes, clear and new. It might not be necessarily new, but new in its own way. Yes, and achievable given your resources and time frame. So let's just recap this. So the first step to choosing a research topic, identify your interests. By now you must have your research interests, what you enjoy about that particular topic, and there must be a motivation backing that interest so you don't get stuck. Collaborate with mentors, collaborate with your colleagues, your lecturers, narrow your focus, then ensure that the topic is doable. Yes, ensure that you can achieve it within limited time frame and with your available resources. Yeah, so why write and publish? Why are we writing? Why are we doing final year project, or why are you writing your undergraduate thesis, and why do you have to publish it? So yeah, that question, why are we writing undergraduate project? The undergraduate project is like, for me, is like your first undergraduate thesis project is like your first real life practical experience. Let me put it like that, because you're going to collect data by yourself or in a group, you analyze it, and you will do it yourself. It's like real life practical experience of whatever you were taught in your first 3 or 4 years in school. So why write and publish? Number one, to advance your knowledge. I can say that during my undergraduate project, I learned some things that I didn't know in my 4 years of study. Understand? Because it's one thing to be in the classroom, and it's another thing to practice what you are taught, like practically hands-on. You learn, you brainstorm, you troubleshoot. Do you understand? So it advances your knowledge and you are contributing to the scientific community. You get. So the first step is, the reason why we are writing and publishing is to advance our knowledge. Number two is advance your institution. Now, publishing boosts your institution reputation, attract funding and enhance its standing in global research. Like, yeah, there are some researchers at in FUTA, I think a while ago, I think Dr. Iluku Fenty and Obo, that were what is called celebrated because of their contribution to research. And that is because of their publications, and also publication advances your institution. It puts your institution on the map. Yeah. And like I said before, it advances yourself, yeah, individual. I said the things I learned doing my project, I didn't learn it during my 4 years of study. It teaches you resilience, it teaches you accountability. Yeah, it helps you gain recognition, secure scholarships, and open pathway to promotions and prestigious. So yeah, your undergraduate projects will open you up. Yeah, it will help you a lot. Yeah, I know of a person that had a scholarship interview, and all what the scholarship interview was focused on was his undergraduate project. And because he did it himself, and you understand, he put in the work, was able to speak on it and let me say defend it. Yeah, so when the graduate project opens you up to opportunities, promotions, roles, scholarships, recognitions, and so on. So that's why we must write and publish. It's not something you check off your list, just want to do it to graduate. No, there's more to it than graduation, or a requirement for graduation. So yeah, the crucial role of your supervisor. Yeah, okay. Now I will ask that, who is your supervisor? Your supervisor is like a guide. Should I say like your parent doing your projects? Should be your parent doing your project. Yes. So it's a key guide. It's there to help you along the way, like hold your hands. Don't cross like that. You're still the owner of your journey. You're still the architect of your life, of your project, but they are there to guide you. Yeah. So yeah, in most schools they are assigned to you. Yeah, yeah, some are, you can choose them, but I don't think I've heard of that. Yeah, so they are assigned to you. Yeah, it can be a ballot or arrangement or whatever. So your supervisor is assigned to you. And how do you work with your supervisor? Early and consistent communication is very, very important to start a working relationship with your supervisor. Like I said, they're like your parents, so you have to build a relationship with them. A relationship with them by communication. Relationship is built on communication. So you communicate with them, talk with them early. Some people shy away from communicating with their supervisors till when they are almost at the deadline of submission. You understand? And that can create an issue. So the first step is communication. Yes, communicate with your supervisor. And yeah, about choosing a research topic. Now, sometimes or most times, you cannot choose a research topic that is outside your supervisor's niche research interests, because since it's the one guiding you, he will not guide you in something that doesn't have vast knowledge in. You understand? It's just like yeah, I'm into plants research, and let's say I'm a supervisor and I have a student who, yeah, a random student. I cannot guide students to do research in a field that I'm not um, vast or vast in. You understand? Because I will not be able to properly guide the student because I'm there as a guide. So you must find a way to um, a silver lining between your research interests and your supervisor's research interests, so that you can link them together. Because like somebody said that all the research in science are linked. Yes, so you can find a link. It is possible. So you must find that silver lining and you must build on that. Yeah, to maximize the guidance, yes, align your research interests with theirs and delve into their past publications to understand their work and methodologies. Now, every of your supervisor have their publications in Google Scholar. can search them out, read about them, and find how you can link them together. So you must find that align your interest with that. So if they are into maybe say plant biology and you want to do animal biology, there's a way you can link them together. You must find that you read their past publications, understand their work, and find how you can link them together. And finally, I'll say it again, communicate with your supervisor. It can be difficult at times, but try to build that relationship with them. Okay. I hope we are following. Hello?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
Okay. Okay. So now understanding thesis structure basic. Now a typical undergraduate project is divided into 5 core chapters: the introduction, literature review, methodology, result and discussion, conclusion and recommendation. Now depends on your supervisor and the faculty, and some might be result and discussion might be in separate chapters. You understand? So, and each of these chapters, they work together to build your academic narrative. So the first one is introduction. Introduction, as I say, is just introduction. Now there's a link to a article on the group by Mr. Christopher. Everything about understanding thesis structure basic is discussed there. Yes, it's discussed there. So you can get it on the group and read it. Everything about understanding thesis is discussed there. Yes. So introduction is where you set the stage, where you outline your research problem. Now, for your introduction, you have to start broad, and yes, you have to start broad, then outline your research problem, like what problem is your research solving. Understand? So that's just the introduction. It's just to introduce your work, and it also includes the objective, the specific objectives and the aims of your work. That's basically what the introduction is. Yes. So think of your undergraduate project like a story, and introduction is just what sets the stage. It shows what's known, explain what you did. You understand? It just gives the audience a general view of your project. There's another part that's abstract before your introduction. So literature review. Literature review is just surveying existing knowledge in your research project. So it's just like someone said, there's nothing new under the sun. So whatever research topic you have or you have thought about or you decide to focus on, there is something relating to it in the net. So that's what literature review is. Literature review is going online, surveying, finding out existing literatures, existing knowledge that relates to your research or your topic, and finding the research gaps. Yes, finding the research gaps and how you want to fill those gaps through your project. Do you understand? So literature review for me then, it was like one of the most difficult aspect there, because we had a maximum number of pages to, or minimum number of pages to write then. So literature review, you have to search, and I think we're going to talk about that later, how to search for journals, how to use some citation tools and all. So methodology, like I said, is methods. How do you aim to carry your research, like step by step? Now, when you're writing your methodology, you should try to make it reproducible. Like the aim of research is for it to be reproducibility. So you should write your methodology in a step-by-step wise manner, omitting nothing to the point where you carried your materials from. So methodology is just take it step by step. How was your research conducted? And it's wise to write your methodology in the order as which you wrote your objectives. Like for example, let's say I want to carry a research project in bread making, for example. I'm just bread making. Okay, analysis of the yeasts in bread baking. Sir,Chrease, some people need to be let into the meeting, like 2 people. So yeah, so you need to, if your objective is number one, my objective is to bake bread. In your methodology, you should tell us the step to bake bread. Let's say the second objective is to serve the bread. Your methodology is tell us just follow like that. Then your result and discussion. Result is your findings. What were you able to discover in your project? Were you able to answer your research objective? Were you able to answer your aims? And your results should be presented in tables, figures, bar charts, diagrams, and all, so that it presents, or pictures present your results. Then discussion is interpreting the results, interpreting the significance of the results. So you interpret it by comparing it to existing literature. You compare, you contrast, and you just make meaning of the result. You make meaning of the findings. Yes. Then conclusion and recommendation. Now, conclusion is just summary. Okay, what was the whole summary from the introduction, the literature review, methodology, just summary of the findings, summary of the outcomes. Yeah, and recommendation is suggesting future work, like suggesting where the next work should continue from. Like I said, every research should be reproducible. So as research is, we're continuing from where somebody stops, we're continuing from where somebody stops. So recommendation is like, yeah, suggesting future work, suggesting where the next work should continue from. So to understand this very well, you can get, I think somebody posted the link already to the journal that Mr. Chris already did to understand this. So we're moving on. Hope you're, hope I'm not just talking to myself. Hope you're following. Hello?
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right, thank you. So crafting your introduction and problem statement. Now, like I said before, your introduction sets the foundation for your thesis. I said you have to start by providing essential background information. It can be a little history, it can be history, or it can be, you can use what is called statistics. Yeah, just start with a broad information, then articulate a clear and concise problem statement. Every research is solving a problem. Like, what problem is your research solving? Yeah. Then follow this with your specific objective, I've said this earlier, and scope of studies. Yeah, so you must have specific objectives. What do I aim to achieve specifically in this research? So that's basically summarize what you need to do in your introduction. Now, the power of literature review. I said you can begin searching for your reputable databases like Google Scholar, PubMed, GStuff, ResearchGate. Later in this training, I'll talk about how to search for journals in Google Scholar. So then when you get the journals, you summarize and critically evaluate the literature. Yeah, you evaluate the literature comprehensively, understanding your field, and also we talk about that citations, avoiding plagiarism. in your literature review. You must cite as you write. Okay, the link to the group. Okay, let me send it again. Sorry. So yeah, to summarize the literature and you cite as you write to avoid plagiarism, because plagiarism is an ethical crime in academia. So, like I said, you explicitly identify research gaps that your study aims to fill, then highlighting the novelty of your research and the contribution. So the research gaps your study wants to fill brings in novelty to your research, makes your research new, understand, and your contribution. Always paraphrase and avoid plagiarism, giving citation as you write. We'll talk about that later to avoid plagiarism. So structuring your methodology, I've sent the link to that particular journal on the group by B.Khrease. So your methodology, research design, clearly outline your overall approach, experimental, quantitative, mixed method. Like I said, how you aim to carry out the research. Now, before you start writing your project, you can have a journal where you jot things down before you write. So you must have a clear research design, how you aim to to do the project. Will there be what do you call it? What steps are you going to take? Where are you going to get your materials from? And so on and so forth. So materials and methods. Like I said, provide precise details of instrument, data collection, and all to even the location or the brand of the particular materials you are using for. And the aim of all this is for reproducibility. Understand? So when somebody carry your thesis, he can replicate your work. Let me say that. Yes. So you must be precise to the point of even the brand name, to the measurements, to the grams, to the kilograms, to the microliter. You must be very precise about your materials and your method. Now, statistical analysis and ethics. Now, you must also be detailed about the statistical test used. Is it ANOVA? Is it yes, SPSS and all? You must be very detailed and you must describe your strategy. Yes, like I said, replicability and tense. So you must ensure your methodology is detailed enough for someone to replicate your work and write the section in past tense. Yeah, I samples were gotten from what they call it, Agege markets, or something like that, or I planted some particular seeds and all. So you must be very, very detailed about your methodology to ensure replicability or reproducibility of your project. Now, the publication journey, writing for publication. Now, after you have done your research, your undergraduate thesis, you've written your introduction, you've done the methodology, you've done the lab work, field work, or questionnaire, whatever it might be. You've done the analysis, you've interpreted your results, you've concluded, you've properly cited. Next thing is what we are here for, transforming your thesis into publication. So writing for publication. Now, the difference between your publication and your thesis, that publication is shorter. Yeah, I'll say that it's shorter. So your thesis might be, I think mine was 90 pages then. Yes, the publication might not even, yeah, might just be 4 to 5 pages. Do you understand? Or max 10, something like that. So publication is shorter. Sorry, yeah, shorter than your thesis. So you must structure your writing begin with your methods, results, move backwards back to abstract. Now, I didn't talk about abstract. Abstract is 250 to 300 words. It's like also it gives a summary of overview of all your work, the introduction, the methodology, the literature review, down to your conclusion. So it gives a reader first glance at your work. At least through your abstract, someone should be able to detect or decipher what you have done throughout your project, your results, your methodology, and everything. So it's 250 to 300 words. So this inside approach ensures your findings drive your narrative. You get, so you start with your method, then your results, then move to your discussion, introduction, and finally your abstract. So crafting a compelling title for your publication. Your title should be clear. We said that earlier. Concise, should be catchy. It's the first impression. You cannot be working on what do you call it, on cancer, and your topic is on what do you call it, plants. It's like yeah, it doesn't make sense. Now, perfect your abstract. Like I said, yes, your abstract gives any reader an overview of your work. Like if you pick a journal, the first thing you do is to read the abstract. It gives a first glance overview of the whole work. So summarize your problem, your methods, your key results, the significance, the aim. Short, 250 to 300 words. So at a glance, if I pick up your project, I should be able to decipher what the project is all about. Actually, I should have a clue about your whole work. Now, manage your references systematically. Now, there are tools like Zotero, Mendeley that help students or researchers to adequately organize their references. So it helps in accurate references, it saves time, and it avoids common errors. Now, how to search for journals on Google Scholar. So we're going to do that together. Yeah, so let me just go through the steps before we do a little practical session here. So I said you go to Google Scholar, you enter your keywords for your thesis topic. For example, mine is plants. I just gave an example. Plant disease resistant genes. Then you use filters. You filter the year. I think when I was writing this seminar, my project, then my supervisor returned my work because she said I didn't use up-to-date references. Yeah, so you can filter that to get recent studies. And you might ask that why are we getting recent studies? Like I said, the purpose of research is reproducibility. We are continuing from where somebody stops or stopped. So imagine if you are continuing for someone that did research in 1990 something. It doesn't make sense. Somebody has already continued. So that's why we use recent references. Yes. Then use Boolean and or not. We're going to do that together. Then you check which journals frequently appear for your topic, your targets. We look for journal links on the right. Some are free PDFs, some are not free. Yeah, so you download them and you use Zotero to help you analyze them. So yeah, we'll be doing a little practical session here. So I don't know if with our laptops here, we can just follow me and just do this together. So yeah, let me share my other screen. So yeah, anybody that has a topic in mind, let's just start from there. So we can do this together. You can just unmute your mic. Who's caller? Anybody that has a topic in mind or a research interest, we can start with it.
Good evening.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself.
My name is Emmanuel Chagozem.
Okay.
400 level student of physiology, University of Ilorin.
Okay. Nice.
My topic in mind would be digital addiction and dopamine system.
Digital what?
Digital addiction and the dopamine system.
And dopamine system. Okay.
Yeah.
So to search in the Google Scholar, you start by using digital what?
Addiction.
Addiction and what?
Dopamine system.
Dopamine system. Okay, you search. Okay, no match yet. So we're going to search again. We're going to use the Boolean code so we can join it together. Are you with me? Bracket. So digital what? Use the inverted commas. Okay, yes. Digital addiction. The Boolean codes are and, or, and not. Use and to join two fields together. Use or for synonyms of topics. Then use not to remove what you don't want to see. For example, digital addiction and dopamine system are exploring two different fields together. So this digital addiction is one topic. So it will be in yes, then dopamine system. Okay. Yeah, you can see that the first search we didn't bring out any what journals. Abby, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Emmanuel?
Yeah, I can hear
So
you.
you use the Boolean codes, yeah, which is and use and to combine different concepts. Digital addition is a different concept from dopamine system, though they might be related. Do you understand? So you can say I put digital addition inside bracket, then dopamine system, then and because we want something that has the two of them together. Abby?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you use quotation mark for exact terms. That means you want these exact terms to be in the journals that they will bring for you. Do you understand that Google Scholar will bring for you? So you want digital addiction and dopamine system to appear. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah. Then you can also use or if you are, let's say another word for digital addiction, you also want to see in the journals that will be provided here. So now you can custom the range. Like I said, my supervisor then told me to use recent publication. So you can say from 2022 towards, let's say 2025. Abi? So search. So yeah. So we can see that the journals that was brought was 2025, 2023, 2022. Yes. And also so that's how to search using Google Scholar. You use quotation mark for exact terms. You use and to combine different concepts together. Use or to include synonyms. Use not to exclude noise. So we can also do something. We can add not. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
So not review. So what that means that I don't want a review paper. I want a research. Do you understand? We have something we call review papers. Yeah, you didn't really review paper is like an article where person really didn't really do the research. It's just reviewing literature. Like You understand? So
Yeah.
let's say I don't want to review papers because I want someone that has done maybe a research step by step and all. I can write not review. Then search again. You get so everyone that everything he has put here is not a review. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's basically it. So you can on your own just edit topic. Then to download, you can see PDF here. You can see related articles. This is dopamine collapse hypothesis, building behavioral microeconomics and neuroscience. You can see the related articles to that particular journal there. You can see the link to the PDF here. Yes. Yeah, it's downloading already. So you have it here. Okay, this is even a slide. So let's check this one. So basically that's how to search for journals in Google Scholar. So we can, any other person with any idea, we can search also. So are we clear with that? Hello? Emmanuel, are you clear with that?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good with that. Thank you very much.
Any other person that wants to like search for maybe research or anything? Okay.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Is it the same method like this Boolean system? Does it also work for other researchers or like maybe PubMed and other websites?
No, I think just for Google Scholar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me answer that.
Okay.
So for PubMed, for Google Scholar, for Scopus, for Web of Science, whatever platform you want to search for a paper, or you want to search for literature governing what you are working on, you can always apply the Boolean factor for you to get paper like relevant to what you need. However, the process or the way in which you are going to be conducting the using the Boolean factor in Google Scholar might be a little bit different from the way you are going to do it on PubMed. There is the part of this Google Scholar that you can still go around to like okay, I think yes, you can still go around to start searching using boxes. So now what he's doing now, you can see he's putting all the Boolean factor using comma and parentheses or not, putting everything together in this search button box on this Google Scholar. But if you want to do it in PubChem, you are going to see where they are going to give you multiple boxes or even scopus. So you must know how to, you must have idea of how you are going to input what you want to search in each of these boxes. For instance, instead of you putting all the words together in the box, the way he did it here, in PubMed, you can decide to put each word in each boxes, and then you can now add the and or not, depending on the way or the algorithm you want to use to search paper. And like he said, he has given the meaning of each of these Boolean factor. Now, if you want to know more about it, you can still read about it online. So that way you are going to know when to use and not or when to use or and not and, when to use not and not and. So each of these words has the function, the function they perform in helping you streamline the papers that you are going to be getting online. So what he has done here is also applicable to every other database. It might just be a little bit different in the way you are going to be putting in the words.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. I totally get it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So we've had so let me go through the brilliant quotes again. So and is went on to include like the both concepts, or is to either term maybe um Z maze or con, like they are the same thing. So you want that to appear. Then not is to exclude a particular term from your search. Then the parenthesis is to group it, like I've said. Then you can filter the year. So I think we're good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's continue. Yeah, so
Okay, Mr. Richmond,
okay.
before we continue, I would want us to have like an interactive question
Okay.
and answer at this point so that people can ask whatever they find.
Okay. Hello? All right. So any questions? Any questions before we move further? Hello?
If there's no question, you can proceed.
Okay. So streamlining your
Okay,
workflow.
sorry.
Hello?
Sorry, can I add what you are saying? Sorry,
Okay, all
because I
right.
might go offline. So sorry. I don't have a question. Okay, I think I have a question, and I think I'm going to answer myself. Then, if you have an addition to whatever I'm going to say, you can add to it, and please to add to it. So when you were speaking, you highlighted supervisor. All this supervisor stuff is for undergraduate. They might be lucky that their supervisor are a good person. Or I'm not saying there's bad ones, but there are some supervisors that you find that when they give you the supervisor, you have to go to mountain to go and be praying. Like, why did they give me this type of person? It happens to some persons. So in that scenario, probably the supervisor is not available for you to even supervise your work. So I believe what we should do is, as an undergraduate, if you find yourself in this position, the best thing for you to do, as he has said, is you should connect with people that will help you. Because I think I have some students now from JLSU. I realize that their supervisors are not even available. It's not always on ground, and they have to present with the same students, their own colleague. So what do these guys do? I told them that they should reach out to people around them that they can connect, like the supervisor students, probably people that they are supervised before, so that those people can guide them. So if you find yourself as an undergraduate and probably the supervisor that they give to you is not what you prayed for, because we all know our lecturers when we're in school. So if you find yourself in that type of situation that, oh, this person that is giving to me will not be available for me. So what I'm going to advise is that just find help yourself by connecting with people that will help you so that, because you don't have any excuse, you have to graduate with others. So it's better you make connections and help yourself go online and just find something to do. And like you said, if you want a publishable journal, you still not make that one to weigh your ambition on making that your journal publishable or use your thesis publishable. So that's what I just have to add to what you said. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benson, for that addition. I want to add to what Mr. Benson said. As undergraduate, you have somebody mic is on. Yeah, making noise. Okay. Mr. Benson, can you mute yourself? Okay, thank you. So as undergraduates, there is limits to what you can do about selecting a supervisor. Now, there are some universities where they are going to be giving you supervisor based on they are going to be giving you supervisor based on if based on grade. Let me put it that way. Yeah, based on grade. And there are going to be some university where they are going to be giving you your supervisor based on arrangement of your names. So not all universities follow the same guideline, the same process of allocating supervisors to students, which is why many times students always end up, or many students always end up with supervisor that ordinarily might not be doing research that is within the scope of what they have as interest. Now get that. And since you do not have the power to choose your supervisor, or you might not have the power to choose your supervisor, it is always advisable. And if you look at, or if you listen to what Mr. Richmore was saying at the beginning of the class, that is where the bulk of the relevance of what he said comes into play. Yeah, the bulk of the relevance of what he said comes into play. Now, because you have been given a supervisor and you are doing something that is completely out of interest or something out of scope that you would want to do as an undergraduate, maybe your long-term interest in research, I made mention of you identifying, collaborating. Now, in that point, first part of picking a research topic, you mentioned interest. Now, because the interest of yours and your supervisor is no way in alignment. Now, other key factor in that point is what you should look at, collaborate and brainstorm. You can always talk to people that you believe are experts or maybe colleagues that are having interest in what you are doing, or that can help you work around, help you know what your supervisor that you are giving is doing. And then you start narrowing your focus on what you want to do in that person or that supervisor research area. Then overall, whatever you are going to be doing must be something that is feasible. Many times, undergraduate thesis is being done within 6 months max. I don't know if there are universities that does undergraduate thesis or research in 1 year, but I know you do it in 6 months. Now, if you are going to be coming up with a research in that kind of situation where you don't have interest in what the supervisor is doing, at the end of the day, you're able to just collaborate with someone that help you to grasp what you want to do in that area. You should be able to come up with a research that is going to be visible within the limited time frame for you to complete your undergraduate. And like we said, undergraduate thesis is not just about requirements for you to graduate. It goes beyond that. You must be able to conduct a research that must give you data that is publishable. When you say data that is publishable, it should be something that is not all, what's it called? It's not something that is being generated out of the lab. Now, many people fabricate data out of the lab. And fabrication of data is a very big offense in research community among researchers. So many times, many students just come up with data or they get data from their supervisor because number one, their supervisor that they are working with is not available to supervise. So they just give them data, tell them go and write, which is the fate of many people. So if you know what you want to do before you even start your project, you are going to be able to avoid all these situations where you are going to be giving data. So that way, know how to collaborate. Your collaboration journey should not be when you graduate. It should start within your undergraduates, within the network of people you have as friends. Even though you are not working with a supervisor, or you might be, okay, let's say there is a supervisor that you really want to work with, we are not giving. You can always work with that person, go to that person, ask for advice. Even fact, you can even request for maybe transfer of supervisor if the need be, because you might be granted. So many times students don't do this. You get what I'm saying? So all these are things you should note and know how to work around. Because at the end of the day, if you are doing a research and it's not something that you can push out to a journal, it's not worth all the stress. So now we are trying to preach this idea of undergraduates doing a research that is going to be worth publishing. Even if it's going to be to a small journal, at least to your research profile, you will know that you did just more than what you are supposed to do in the lab. You're able to come up with a published paper. And Mr. Richmond said it. Structure of a thesis is way more longer than a manuscript for a publication. So you must know how to navigate your way around that. So you must be concise and accurate, direct to the point. No unnecessary story like you would write in your thesis. That way, or maybe another class or another training, we are going to be talking about breaking it down. But because of this class, we are not, or we might not be able to cover everything on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sas. So yeah. So about the supervisor problem. Yeah, during my time, I also also grateful that Mr. Christopher was my was my senior. My supervisor also supervised him. So it was like my co-supervisor. Every problem I had, I went to him. So just like what somebody said, Mr. Benson said, he said you can reach out to their past students, reach out to them or request for a change of supervisor, get to try and achieve the aim of your work. I think somebody's raising up his hand today. Olayinka, you can speak.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I was on transit before, so I just had the opportunity now to raise one or two questions. Yeah, still talking about the supervisor, because in Nigeria system, we all know what's going on, especially in the education sector. I want to just maybe if there's anything you can do concerning that, especially those in STEM that maybe you want to carry out the research, and at the end of the day, you see that majority of the research you are not actually doing it. You are sending the sample out, like maybe you want to do phytochemical screening, and they tell you, okay, send your sample out to another school, another institute, and at the end of the day, they only give you the result back. You don't actually know, okay, is this like how did they do it? Is this my results? Recently, my younger brother finished from UI and he sent the sample out. He's a civil engineering, and based on the results given to him, he was like, oh, like why would a sample that is having much particle have a lower absorbance to a sample that is clear? And like the thing is not so. And majority of the research that undergraduate, you find out that sometimes you see that you are not actually the full ownership of the research. You are sending it out, getting the results. You don't know how they do it. You don't even know how they operate it. And at the time you want to write manuscripts on it and everything, you just feel like, okay, you are just following the procedure being put on the paper and this. And so, and also another thing is about concerning the issue of maybe you are giving the supervisor and supervisor is not on grant, and you want to reach out to maybe your course advisor or departmental advisor that maybe they should change it. I will also lay emphasis on it that maybe sometimes it has to be done in a reasonable way, because during my own time, I had one issue with like that. The supervisor given to me was someone that is very old, not even coming to school, at least maybe sometimes even once in a week. And I was like, then I complained to the advisor that, okay, they should change it. And the advisor was like, this man is way superior to me and this thing and this thing. And before I know it, I was being called by the HOD of the department that why do I want to change this thing? Why do I want, like, the information already reach up there? And if not that, maybe because the HOD know me, it was like they will have forward the information to the supervisor, and it will just turn to a catastrophe in a long run. So reaching out, I just want to say that some of the process, like the things that the way to navigate all this issue is somehow sometimes just like Mr. Christopher has said, is just to meet with your seniors, maybe those that have passed out and those things like that, so that at least you will not be like, because sometimes it's usually very hectic and you just feel that you are alone and stuff like that. But my own problem is that most of the research we are doing, that we are sending the sample out, we are not in full ownership. What do you think that we can do about it?
Okay, yes. So yeah, let me just repeat your question. Number one, what would do about research being put out to institutions, yes, without us being there, pertaining to hands-on experience about the research. And number two, supervisors, handling supervisors, change of supervisors with wisdom. So the first question, yes, so about that, it happens in almost all, yeah, Nigerian universities. I can't actually relate to that because I had a supervisor that was keen on hands-on experience. You have to go to the institution to practice the hands-on experience. So what you can do about that is two things. The equipment used for the research, whatever equipment were used, and whatever you're going to report in your project, you can um, on your own apply to internships to learn how to use those equipments. Because if you, like what you said, if you come out and say you want to like practice this equipment and get experience, hands-on experience on how to use this equipment about your project, you might come out as, yeah, as being insulting to your supervisor. And most of these equipments are very, very expensive. So you can reach out, or during the course of your project, if you can suggest, you can build network or connection through LinkedIn or emails, that you can there are institutions that have these equipment, and if you, even though you're still sending it out, you're still going to pay to use this equipment, I mean, to for the research, so for the results of the research. So you can just reach out to them that you want to be physically present or have experience in doing the research to avoid falsified results, because you are correct, most of the results that will be sent back might not be your exact results, it might be falsified just for undergraduate thesis. Yeah, I also give Mr. Christopher the floor to answer that question. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm here.
Okay.
Can you
So,
hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you for that question. If I could recall the question, where you are talking about situation where you are given a supervisor that ordinarily is unavailable. Then, because of the unavailability of the supervisor, most of your samples are being sent out for analysis, which means, number one, you don't have the leverage of being able to ask questions, those curious questions from your supervisor. And number two is that you do not have the right hands-on for projects that you are meant to learn or gather experience from. Am I correct?
Is absolutely, you are correct.
Okay. So now, let me just tell you something. Many times, Nigerian universities are structured in a way that lecturers are at the mercy of helping us. And when I say they are at the mercy of helping us, it is because the situation of how Nigerian uh, institution is and the country at general is. Now, imagine a situation, okay, for instance, let's say in the year 2020, 2017, where there was rampant academic strike, like strike can go on for 6 months, 7 months, 1 year. And many of these lecturers have been subject to a situation where they have to, or they get to just be frustrated about their efforts in training next generation of scientists. You get what I'm saying? Now, all this situation at the long run is going to amount to supervisor or people or lecturers being nonchalant about whether you get it or you don't get it. Because at the end of the day, what they are being paid, the gratitude they get after being rendering this service is nothing to write home about. Now, that is the case of the supervisor. But you as a person that you are interested in getting knowledge, getting what's it called? Getting hands-on that is relevant for you to move further, maybe in your research area, in your research focus, not just at the undergraduate level, at the postgraduate level. It's going to be relevant for you to get hands-on that is going to be useful for you. Now, in a situation where you happen to get a supervisor that, number one, is unavailable to guide you. Number two, because of the unavailability, they had to give you or hand you over to another student that even is still learning. Now, when I say another student, maybe masters, not PhD now. PhD might be able to mentor you properly. A masters might be, although it might depend on the knowledge of whoever they are handling it to. Now, when they handle you to this kind of people, they are now asking you to now conduct your analysis, not just in the lab anymore, outside, like them contracting it out. So this situation is going to warrant that. You know that you don't have the experience. You know that you don't have the mentorship. Now, as students, while you know that is the situation in which you fall in, you must be able to come up with a backup plan of how to learn all those things in your own free time. Now, I used to advise many people that, okay, you know that ability, you don't have the opportunity. UIC is the time in which you can learn all these things. So you might have missed it during undergraduate. That is why you will see that this platform welcome people that are even graduates, not just undergraduates alone. But because our focus is majorly on undergraduate, that is why we are putting it to undergraduates now. That know what you want to do. And if situation warrants that you start learning at your own pace or you paying to learn. Now, these people, they took your sample too. They still do your analysis for you, yes or no. Now, it is a thing of you going there to say, okay, I want us two people to train me on how to do this thing. I know it is not what you would ordinarily do. Would there be an amount I'm supposed to pay for me to learn this thing? Because it's going to be useful for you. Now, some people will just pay it off and forget it. And at the end of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they get the data that is needed for what they do. How do you do it? I don't know. When do you do it? I don't know. So what's the meaning of the results? I don't know. So a situation like that will warrant you yourself building up your capacity in learning. And in learning, you have to know where you need to go to. And this is why B.Khrease Academic Consult is in place to always recommend. Many people don't know we do that. We will recommend. Even if it's going to be a space of 2 weeks, 3 weeks training, there are places we can always recommend you to that you are going to get this hands-on that is relevant to you. Yeah, we have many people, we have many experts in different organizations across Nigeria that we can always recommend you to. So B.Khrease Academic Consult is slated, is designed in such a way that we are not just training students, we are also helping recommending places where you can do these trainings, where you are unable to get during your undergraduate thesis. So I feel situation like this is the only solution, or this is going to be one of the solutions. I don't know if there is any other idea from any other person. Yeah, Mr. Richmond, please go ahead. Sorry for taking it.
No problem. So yeah, I think he has answered the question with Olainka. Hello?
Yeah, yes,
Oh.
yes.
Okay, all right.
That's...
So we can move forward. So referencing made it easy with Zotero. So Zotero is a powerful free reference manager. I learned Zotero on a training like this with Mr. Chris. Yeah, and has changed my writing life. It has made it easy. And also, Zotero is a powerful free reference manager that helps to simplify the citation process, and it ensures accuracy, consistency, and just makes your work easy, because citation is one of the issues that students have with undergraduate thesis. So what are the steps? So you install Zotero and the connector. So I already have Zotero on my system. I open it. Then you save your citations. You organize your research into folders. You cite and format. So the beautiful things about Zotero is that it automatically saves your citations. Once you put your in-text citation, it generates the reference citation, the reference for you in your reference chapter, or chapter. So it saves countless of hours. It avoids accidental plagiarism because you cite as you write. Then it ensures that your bibliographies are always perfectly formatted. So yeah, I will show what Zotero looks like. So this is Zotero. Zotero, yeah. So it's a software that helps with your referencing. So you can install Zotero and the connector, and the connector will be in let me open a new page. So you can see the Zotero connector already in my Microsoft, in my MS Word. So yeah, so this is the software and that's the connector. So how does it work? You have my library here. You can, like in the slide, you create projects, just like Emmanuel project. You can create in my library a new project. You can title it dopamine addiction, abi? Dopamine addiction. So you create the collection. So under this collection now, you will save your journals, article, whatever you are using. So for example, and the beautiful thing about Zotero is that you can save it even without downloading the document through the DOI. Yeah, every journal has a DOI. DOI is a digital object identifier for every journal. Every article has a DOI, so you can just get it and save the work. So let's look at this genetics, interplay, and yes. So let's open the work. So this is the review. So this is the DOI, for example. So you can just copy the DOI. Yes. Then go to your Zotero under the file you've created, which is dopamine addiction, and you input the DOI, and it saves it already. You can see the in-text citation, Shabazz et al. So if you read the journal and get like a particular information from it and you want to cite it, you just in-text cite immediately from here, from the MS Word, Shabazz et al. Then it automatically generates reference. Just like what Zachary said, there will be another platform. There will be another platform where you'll be taught this, in details. So that's the overview of Zotero. So it helps to organize your research. You can see I have different topics here, or different projects here. So it helps you organize your research and makes you avoid plagiarism in the simplest way possible. So any question about Zotero before we move on? Hello? Okay.
Is there any question?
Okay. Any question about Zotero and citation?
No question.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on. So, navigating journal submissions. Now, to publish your work, there are various journals, some free, some not free, that you can submit your work for publication. Now, you identify journals in your writing process you want to publish. I've listed some journals here. You have Journal of Agriculture and Animal Science, Food Science, and about that. A lot of journals. I listed some here. So each of these journals has specific guidelines and instructions that you have to follow. Each journal instruction is or varies from one another. So you have to go there and know what they request for you to publish and follow it judiciously. Now, so you cannot want to publish, you're an engineering student, for example, and you say you want to publish in food science and biotechnology journal. No. The topic and the scope doesn't perfectly align with the journal scope, obviously. So you must know the journal that fits into your research. And yeah, be prepared for rejection. Yeah, be prepared for rejection. But yeah, if you get rejection, um you submit it again on that journal. Yeah, and considering since it's undergraduate, like Mr. Chris said, you can consider lower impact or student friendly journals just to gain initial experience and feedback. And your manuscript will go through various review processes. So be ready to make corrections and review. Some journal require some fees, but like I said, you can consider starting with low impact or student friendly journals. Now, common pitfalls or common mistakes to avoid while publishing your work. Vague objectives. Like I've said earlier, ensure your research questions are clear, specific, measurable, achievable, and reproducible. Ensure your objectives are clear and specific. Now, be careful with plagiarism. I think we'll discuss plagiarism in the next slide. Always cite your sources vigorously and avoid self-plagiarism. Self-plagiarism is using your own work, like it's makes repetition of work. Yeah, we'll discuss plagiarism more in the next slide. Then number three is poor referencing. I've said inconsistent and complete citations undermine plagiarism or credibility, and that's why um, Zotero is important, Mendeley is important to help you out. So, like I said, self-plagiarism is the act of reusing your own previously published or submitted work. Yeah. So you have to cite yourself. Ignoring reviewers' feedback. Like I said, manuscript um your manuscript will undergo various review stages, and you must not ignore your reviewer comments or feedback because they are important in getting your manuscript published. And procrastination, yeah, is major issue. So you must break your tasks and you must set a deadline for yourself. Yes, that's how it works. Set a deadline. Be your own supervisor at times. Set a deadline and try to meet up with that deadline. Yeah. Now, now we can see this picture here. It says my thesis after removing plagiarism. We can see that the pizza is empty after removing plagiarism. So plagiarism is gotten from the Latin word plagiarius. It means to kidnap. So plagiarism is just copying, yes, reckless copying of someone else's work, because this is we're in academia and we have to give credit to people's work. So we don't lift mindlessly or copy someone's work. Even though you paraphrase, it's still the person's idea. It's from the person's idea. So you must properly cite the person's work to avoid plagiarism. Yeah. So what are the don'ts? Don't copy and paste without credits. And don't use others' work at yourself. In short, copying and paste without credit is like owning the work. Do you understand? It's like owning the work. Yes, and the do's, cite sources, paraphrase in your own words, and use tools like Zotero, Mendeley to help you overcome plagiarism. Now, what are the aftermath of plagiarism? Failed thesis. Your project can be rejected. The journal can be rejected. It can damage your reputation. It can cause publication bans. So we need to avoid plagiarism, reckless lifting or copying of someone else's work without citing. Citing is like giving honor to them, let me call it that, without citing the person's work. And how you can help or reduce that is use tools like Zotero and cite as you work, yet paraphrase in your own words to reduce that. Somebody was raising up his hand. Olayinka, do you have something to say? Okay. Olayinka, do you have something to say? Okay, I think we'll continue.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I just want to put more emphasis on the journals. That even before you start writing your manuscript, after you are done with your thesis and everything, you want to start writing your manuscript. I think the best thing, so as not to repeat the work, is to first, when you identify the problem you are solving, the next thing is to what is to look for a particular journals. Like for example, if you are into cancer, the first thing is to look into journals, maybe BMC Cancer, those journals that are publishing something related to that, and then try to check their guideline. Try to check, okay, what do they need, their word count, and everything like that before you start writing. Because in the long run, I've seen a friend that maybe after she wrote the whole manuscript finish and she wants to submit, then the after the girl said don't pay money, then the later rejected the work because he did not follow the due process, and she has to maybe to rewrite and all those things. So I just want to put more emphasis that even before you start writing a manuscript, you should try as much as possible to know the journal that okay you want to submit it to, and then try to see how they structure the format that they need, so that you will not have to repeat your work all over again. And I know as time goes on, I also want you to put more emphasis on when you are submitting your paper, the connection with your supervisor, so that do we really need to put the supervisor inside when we are publishing the paper? Like what maybe if you fall out with your supervisor and later you want to publish the paper, can we publish it in his absence or in our absence? So that's just what I want to.
Okay, thank you very much, Yinka. Yes. So, like you said, research about the particular journal you want to submit in before you start your manuscript to avoid starting the work all over again. Now, your question, yeah, I want to also um, forward it to Mr. Chris because it has been in my mind. So, like, what if we have if you want to publish your work, is he right, or is it we neglect as supervisor before we publish the work? Can we go ahead and publish the work with or without his or her consent?
So I have a question also relating to that. So if Mr. Chris can answer the two together.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay, in a situation whereby a supervisor go ahead and publish a work without our name, you understand? Whereby this is my project, yes. Now my supervisor went along and published the work without adding my name. So what can be done in that aspect?
Okay, thank you for the question. So first thing first, the question of you publishing your work without your supervisor is a no. You cannot do that because you have someone that supervise, someone that look for you, that pamper you when you are doing the research and scrutinize your work. So you cannot pick the same work and go and submit for publication without the consent of your supervisor. Now that's easy. Now the second one, which Mr. If you want to ask, is sometimes the difficult one. And the reason why it is difficult is because many undergraduates, or the way they look undergraduates in Nigeria, is not the way that supports training undergraduates to be independent in the first place. Now, many times undergraduates are given research work that is just part of objective of maybe some master students or PhD students. That is what I want you to understand. So if you are doing a research and your supervisor is telling you do this by force by fire, you should know that the work you are doing is part of somebody, maybe PhD or master's work. So they just remove one objective of the person work and they are giving it to you to do it as undergraduate thesis. And the reason why this is rampant is because many times they feel undergraduates are just there to work and live. And they have nothing more, nothing less to add to the wealth of knowledge in academia. So they just overlook what undergraduates can do, give them work, and ask them to just do it with their own money. At the end of the day, they will pick the data and they will publish it without your consent. Now, this is where many students can avoid this kind of scenario. Before you start your undergraduate thesis, you are giving your supervisor. I believe you should be able to have a one-on-one discussion with your supervisor that, sir, we know this is an undergraduate thesis, and we are going to be happy if this thesis is going to include a publication with our names in it. Now, many undergraduates in Nigeria, they don't have this leverage, they don't have this opportunity because most supervisors don't even have time for you in the first place. How do you get to even ask somebody that doesn't have time for you this kind of question? That is what I want you to have in the back of your mind. And if, let's say, you don't have supervisor that can ask this kind of question, at least your supervisor have masters and PhD students that might be more knowledgeable. And these people are going to be working towards publishing research, publishing papers. Now, this is the people you can collaborate with, which is what RICHMORE has said in the first part. Collaborating and working up to these people is going to save you a lot of stress. You can always tell them, sir, ma, I know that this work we are doing might not necessarily be bulky enough to publish, but I'll be happy to be included if publication is going to be coming out from this because peradventure, some of my data are being supplemented into your own thesis. Please don't forget me. And you must always reach out to these people. But now, the person that is even asking this question is a graduate already. So you cannot go back and start fighting for paper that have been published without your name. Now, but for people that are still undergraduate to avoid this kind of scenario, these are ways in which you can go about getting this thing sorted without you even stressing yourself. Go to your supervisor. If you can't meet them, go to the students, senior colleagues that are under your supervisor. Talk about this to them. Tell them your interest. Let them see the zeal that you are seeing this beyond just your undergraduates. You are seeing this beyond just what you are doing now. And this is what is going to help you secure opportunities. Yeah, it's going to give you leverage for opportunity. And in that process, you might even be included in the writing structure of the thesis for that publication. So these are ways in which students are supposed to be able to use to gain the trust of whoever is supervising them if they are available in quotes, or other senior under their supervisor Gain trust with them. Talk to them. Let them know you know what you are doing. Many times people don't show interest in what they are doing. Undergraduate just do it, leave. We just want to submit. We don't want to graduate. But the fact that you know that maybe your journey is beyond this undergraduate focus, you have postgraduate to pursue. You yourself want to Japan, you want to go to US, you want to go to Australia, you want to go to Canada. This is how you are going to start thinking right before you even finish your undergraduate thesis. Because it might be a little bit difficult for you or individuals to conduct research on their own. Now, leveraging on the strength of others is going to help you go far. Are we all hearing me? Am I audible? Am I saying something?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, leveraging on the strength of others is going to push you far. Because by the time you start learning through this process, in less than 2 years, you are going to be able to stand your ground to even come up with research that you will be able to handle without too much supervision. It all started out with me too like that. Myself and some of my colleagues, we were going to the lab looking as if we don't know what we are doing. We go to the lab, do research, go back home, go to fellowship, eat, go to school. That is the lifestyle. Nothing meaningful, nothing sweet about the lifestyle. But we know we are investing in the future. At the end of the day, we did our undergraduates. Although this situation you are saying also is a restriction to me because my supervisor didn't give me leverage to say, oh, go and publish it. If not, I will have published my undergraduate thesis. But outside that, there are other means for me to publish because I knew, oh, if I can't publish through my undergraduate thesis, there are other means I should be able to publish because I didn't have this opportunity to discuss what I'm just saying now with my supervisor. Ma, we want to publish it. How do we do it? And remember, for you to say you want to publish, these people might be putting it forward to you that you are going to spend a lot of money. So if you don't have money to spend, you are going to be scared if to even ask supervisor, sir, we want to publish. That's where they will first get you. They will say, can you spend this? If you say no, they will just throw you off balance. But there might be a situation you might get supervisor that is willing to help you. So supervisor will take you as father-son, father-daughter relationship. So they will help you if you really show interest in growing. But if you don't have this leverage, work on the strength of those seniors, colleagues that are, you know, that they are doing masters or PhD. Let them use you. They can't use you forever. You do work maybe 3 months, 6 months. You generate data through your contribution. Your name will obviously be included. You get now. So these are ways. And like I said, you cannot publish your work outside the consent of your supervisor. If not, Olokpa will carry you. And my hand is not there. So thank you. I hope I'm able to answer the question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So yeah, moving on.
You have 30 minutes, please, Mr.
Yeah,
Richmond.
I'm almost done. So my story is almost similar to B.Khrease. He has even said because we had the same supervisor. So I didn't have the chance to publish my work also because of because of my supervisor. But and thesis was hard for me, a little bit difficult. Till I had to meet my mentor here, B.Khrease. He really helped me to strategically plan my thesis. Like it became easy for me, like after our sessions. Yes. So yeah, my undergraduate thesis was like it was a great obstacle. I remember I will have nights that will be like I'm not sure I'm going to graduate after because it was mini hell. But like we have said and we have been saying, this is the time for you to meet your mentors, meet others because you cannot do this alone. You cannot even do it alone with your supervisor. You need to ask for help. Yeah. So the experience taught me that mentorship or strategic planning will give you a good undergraduate project, will give you a publishing success. So you need mentorship, you need help. You can never be overemphasized. Like, because you have days, depending on your supervisor. I'm talking from my own personal experience. I had days where I felt like, oh, let me just quit. I need to do projects because it was that harsh. Um, yeah, it was that harsh. And it was more painful. I say painful. It was more harsh because I was also the leader of my project group. So the responsibility was too much. You have your project, you have others, and I know this the same way they do it in other schools. Everybody is grouped under one supervisor and they do similar work with slight differences. So the leader is like carrying the whole work. So it was a big obstacle for me. Like I said, you cannot do it alone. You need guidance, not from your supervisor alone, from mentors, from people to give you the good thesis that can become your first academic published work. Yeah, so let me rush so that we can finish. Yes. So yeah, my advice for everybody here, researchers, yeah, your thesis is not the end point. It's like the starting point. It's even, like I said before, it's a stepping stone. It's the beginning of your research journey. So like I said, yeah, your thesis is your research passport. Though they have increased international passport, but that's by the way, your thesis is your research passport into the field of research, any research of your field. It catapults you into the research community. So it validates your capability and grants you entry into the global academic community. It opens way for you. It's like a door that you need to open, and the key is to have a publishable thesis, a good thesis. You can open the doors to anything. Like I said before, I know somebody that did an interview for a a scholarship, and it was just based on his thesis because that was the only research experience he had. And Sakris have said it earlier that your project might be the only research experience you might have. And because he did it well and he made it publishable, he was able to defend and speak to it. Get. So publishing your work is the key to unlocking its full potential. It provides invaluable credibility, earns you recognition, opens the door to new opportunities, collaboration, funding, and career advancement. Now, the collaboration we're talking about is not only about graduate school. As somebody that did the project on, I think on, animal science, and they're using it to make money because they like not that he used the information from the project, but that's opened the way to in terms of entrepreneurship for him. You understand? So what's the key? Start early, maintain relationship with your supervisor, seek mentorship, seek guidance. You can't do it alone. You might run mad, but not possible. But you understand? Maintain consistency in your efforts. And I'll say this again and I'll say this again because I'm not tired of saying you need mentors. You need people to help you in your school, wherever you are. You need guidance because the journey is not a solo one. You need people. Understand? So your thesis is not your endpoint, but it is your research passport. Now your research can make a difference if you start now. Don't delay your entry into the academic conversation. Every published article strengthens your voice and impacts. Thank you very much for listening. And if you have any further questions, we can take it now. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the wonderful breakdown of research writing. Obviously, I know one day is not enough to say everything. And the way we did it last year, it took us around, I think, 6 days? A year before the last, we had to do it like for one whole month, every Saturday. So we had to space it out, what we want to do. So this time around, because of situation of thing, we just have to do one day so that we can compress all that is needed to learn. Now, this is just tip of the iceberg, meaning there's more to know. But I believe what Mr. Richmore has told us here today is bulky enough, it's informative enough for you to know what you should do and how you should go about it, most especially for undergraduates. Although there are some graduates here that it might not directly apply to, but it's still going to be relevant while you want to go or while you start your postgraduate study. And if you are doing a postgraduate study outside Nigeria, it's going to be a little bit or more different. So those are the things that you should be thinking behind your mind as a graduate. And publishing your thesis, if you already have your thesis, you can still go back to your supervisor if you have this chance. Talk to them, you want to convert, what is their say? If they are giving you go ahead, you can always reach out to people, reach out to B.Khrease for consultation on how to go about writing thesis and publication from your thesis that has already been submitted. But while at that, if you are still an undergraduate, you must know that at the back of your mind, what you are preparing or you should be preparing from your undergraduate should be something that is publishable. And you must already have an established discussion with your supervisor so that it's going to be easy for you at the back of your mind. Just write a thesis, extract publication article, then submit. So because we are going to be ending the class very soon, I'm going to be giving room for questions so that everybody that are unable or that might have their own personal experience. If you have a personal experience, if you have questions, if you have contribution to make, please, you can go ahead and unmute yourself so that we can learn from you. Any question, any contribution, any addition, any subtraction, any division? Just unmute yourself.
I have a question, sir.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Like I've been reading and coming across some journals. So what makes a journal predatory? Predatory journal. And at times, whenever I see some publications and the authors, maybe they are like 20, like, is that good? Because so I want to shed more light on that, sir.
Okay. So, why is my voice echo? Okay. I'm going to try to put up my, okay. Now, publication ordinarily is the beauty of science, not just science, every field is that a research that is well done is going to require expertise of not just one person. That means many people, different people should come together, put their own opinion, put their concept, put their idea together to make something beautiful. Now, if one person writes a whole research, there might be errors, maybe in the writing, in the words, in the structuring and all that. But when multiple people are coming together to conduct a research, it cannot pass through everybody and they would not see maybe at least different things, different ideas that they can use to improve that document. Now, that is one of the reasons why multiple authorship is good in research writing. Now, if you look at the way authorship is being done, it requires that everybody that are on the paper are contributing. Now, contribution is different. There might be someone conceptualizing, there might be someone doing the primary draft writing, there might be someone reviewing, there might be someone constructing or visualizing the figures, there might be someone conducting analysis, there might be someone doing the lab work, there might be someone providing resources, there might be someone providing funding. So each of these contributions are relevant, which is why whatever someone does, whatever a person do in a research is going to be what is going to be reflecting on the name those person as author's contribution. And many times, not everybody is going to be contributing the same thing. That is why the description on this contribution from different author is always different. Now, publication is tricky these days because many people want to publish, and publishing require you to be very careful. Now, as you said, there are some journals that are not recognized. There are some journals that are fake, let me put it that way. And there are some journals that they will just collect your money because they know you are naive. They want to publish. So they collect your money, publish nonsense. Those journals are called predatory journals. Now, I might not be able to tell you everything about predatory journal, but I want you to go on LinkedIn and search on predatory journal. You will see content on what it means, how you can identify it, and how you can avoid them. Because at the end of the day, conducting a research for months in the lab and submitting it to a journal that is predatory is, how do I say it? It's going to be very painful. Yes, it's going to be very, very painful. So it is advised that if you are conducting research, you don't know what to do after you finish it, always reach out to people, ask questions, ask for opinion, ask for recommendation. Sir, ma, I've done this research. This is the journal I identify. Can you tell me about this journal? Is it good or not? Many times you are going to see that a journal that is not indexed is a selected what's it called platform, they will ask you don't submit there. Now, one of these platforms that is relevant is Scopus, PubMed. You get what I'm saying? So now, these are some of the criteria you need to know, to look out for you to submit. And there are some well-known publishers that you must follow. Some well-known publisher. For instance, Elsevier is a publisher that is well-known. Springer is a publisher that is well-known. Taylor and Francis is a publisher that is well known. Willie is a publisher that is well known. Sage Online is a publisher that is well known. Bentham Science is a publisher that is well known. MDPI, Frontiers, all these are publishers that are well known, that people publish. They are well recognized around the world. But at the same time, some of the journal under this publisher might be hijacked in such a way that it's going to turn to predatory because of the people handling it. So you also need to be careful, ask questions. You might not know everything. You cannot even know everything. Not you might not. You cannot know everything. So the place of you asking people that are ahead of you in research is not something you can just overlook, even though you know what you are doing. Asking this question at this kind of situation is going to really save you the stress of conducting research and then having it published in a place that they will not find it useful, and it will not account to your profile. Because many times I know they will tell you it's a publication that is not peer review, is not a publication. Many of these journals, predatory journals, don't go through peer review. You submit today, they accept it today. That is not a publication. Because number one, it doesn't go through peer review. You get now. So please ask questions. B.Khrease is here to help you. If you are preparing your thesis, you are preparing your manuscript, you want question about how to go about selecting journal, we are here for you. We have experts. Regardless of your field, we have experts, people that can help you navigate what you need. You get what I'm saying? So these are things you need to know. And LinkedIn is a very resourceful platform where you should be able to know more information. You can always reach out to people. People will answer you. You know, these are people doing well in this field. You want to learn from them, reach out to them, ask questions. I'm sure people will be willing to respond to you if it has to do with ideas, things that is going to develop you as a person. Many people might not be able to give you money, but knowledge is something that people will be willing to give you, even if it's at a reasonable price. You should be able to do that. And if you are serious about it, this is going to provide you with opportunity that transcend beyond the borders of Nigeria. Get. So this is what I'm going to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So I have one more question, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I would not say it's a question, it's more like we pleading. Now, since you said this webinar, should I call it a webinar? Yes, comes in batches, whereby we might
Yeah.
still get to have another one. So I don't know if there is a way you can teach us how to publish for free, because I heard like we having academic mail is a plus, and that will enable us to publish freely on in some journals. So
Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that request. Like you said, it's not a question, it's a request. So fortunately, I'm happy that I'm working with at least some of the people that I've trained, and Mr. Richmond is fortunate to be someone that is very resourceful, is ready, is proactive, and he knows what he's doing. That is why many times dedicating time to people requires people, you knowing if these people are really worth your time. And if someone is not worth your time for free, they will pay for it. I don't know if you get it. If you are learning from us or people like me for free, it means you are worth the time. And it's not going to even take you a dime to learn what you are supposed to learn. But if you are not ready to learn, that means you are going to pay to learn. That way, you are going to take that learning serious. But because you have pleaded that you might want to, you people in this group, for instance, might want to learn how to work on publication. There will be opportunity. Thank God you are all on the WhatsApp group. There will be opportunity for research. Currently, we are having a research that we want to expand. In fact, one of them is ongoing. Several of them is under review. And thanks to Mr. Richmore, he did a very great job in like preparing the first draft of most of these papers. And this is where mentorship comes in place. Like he said, he doesn't have the opportunity to publication, but that doesn't restrict him from doing things that is going to help him. Don't be surprised when you see me, Richmond posting 3 to 4 paper in the space of 1 month on LinkedIn. It's because he worked for it. And this is a platform where he has gathered all those experience, all those ideas, all those knowledge. You get what I'm saying? So if it should be good for everyone to learn or have publication, we are going to look into that, and we are going to be sending information to the group. And like I said, not everybody is going to be able to participate because we need people that are ready, people that really know what they are doing. And because we don't have the leverage of start teaching people A for apple, B for ball, you must have known a little bit of things you are supposed to know. It will just require that this is how you do this, this is how, not teaching you from the scratch again. So that will be some of the criteria that's going to mean we are going to be using to select people that might be involved in the next project we are doing. So that being said, there's no issue with that. We are going to get back to you. Everything is going to be sorted. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. So, Mr. Richmond, I'm going to be giving the. Is Mr. Benson here?
I think yes. It's not yet.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I think it was talking about network. So, as a way of appreciating everybody that come to this place, we want to say thank you for joining. I believe you've learned a lot, even though it might not be everything that might be directly translatable at this point. But at the one point or another in your journey of undergraduate or graduate journey, you are going to find what we have taught or what we have discussed today relevant. Because it does not end in the border of Nigeria. You will still see situation where you are going to be using ideas from this place for maybe in your graduate school. You get now. And I want to implore us, please, if you are really dedicated to learn something, please always help. You can always help us to engage with our posts, repost, like, comment, so that we can have other people that don't have this opportunity. This is a place where you can always get opportunity. In future, we are hoping maybe Mr. Richmore is going to be conducting a whole research involving some of our students in training like this. So it's going to be the one supervising it. It's not going to necessarily be me or any of our team member. So it's going to be this platform that we are going to be raising people, scientists that are going to be able to conduct independent research. That's going to help them in their, what's it called, in their graduate journey. So please help us like our posts, make comments, ask, post, reshare. Just put something that is going to show that you've learned a lot from this training. In that way, we are going to know that we are actually helping people and people are learning from what we are doing from this platform. And while we do that, we are going to, for sure, come up with a plan to involve everybody. Like Mr. Juwon asks, 15, 20 people can be on a publication, but it depends on the in-depth of what we conduct. And readiness for everyone to do this is going to determine how we are going to recruit people to come up to do maybe our next phase of research in B.Khrease Academic Consult. Although we have collaboration with some other organization, but we want to be able to say, oh, this research was collaboratively done by our students alone. You get what I'm saying? So please take the initiative to like, comment, post, involve yourself in discussion on LinkedIn, most especially that is relevant. You can even see opportunity from there. People might want to say, oh, this is good. People will want to learn from you too. And while they are learning from you, you are also projecting our image. So thank you for coming. We are grateful for your time. We are most grateful for our teacher, our speaker today, Mr. Richmore Yipe.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for creating this wonderful slide, teaching us, taking us through this whole journey of writing a publishable thesis. So one last thing before we go. I don't know if we all can put on our camera just to have is Mr. Richmond, share your slide. So it would be good for us to have like a post showing maybe our two-top face, except your face is in a ugly state now. So we would want to post something like this to show that these are the real people that did it. It is not fabricated. These days, they use AI to generate anything. You get now. So I'm going to also on my camera now. Oh, Mr. Emmanuel Abi. Yeah, Mr. Richmond. You're in the darkness. Okay, this is Australia here, 4 a.m., 4:11 a.m. I know most of maybe every other person is in Nigeria, but I know some people on this group now are coming to Australia before this year end. Let me not cast them. So we hope from this kind of platform, you are going to be able to come up with research articles that is going to really show that you have done a lot of training on yourself. So, Mr. John, I can see your face. Well done. Who else? Some people are shying away from showing their face. Please, whatever, let your face show so that we can put you on live. Yes. And me personally, we like putting up evidence to show our face so that people will know that we are doing something. He gets now. Yeah, Mr. Dele Olayinka. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to do this. You can do the screenshot from your hand too. Post it if you want to post it. I'm going to post it from my hand. We post it on our official page to show that everyone are really involved. Thank you for the time. Just one more. Somebody is just joining after 3 hours of class. Thank you, Mr. Richmond. You have done justice to the class. In fact, I wasn't expecting that you will say this much. I was like, maybe you will just say 2 minutes. 2 minutes talk, and that's it. Yeah. Okay, one last time.